People deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian, man. Come on. Good evening, people. I'm back again. Fan show settings. I've got 3 of the best people that I trust their opinions. We differ on a lot of things, but they're quite methodical. And I thought with obviously it being 4 games without a win, we got a lot to discuss. Certain man got to pay for their sins. But before we crack on, how you man doing?
Yeah, good, man. Well, good in life, but when it comes to football terms, not so good. A bit more positive than a few weeks ago, I guess. After yesterday was little tiny bit better. Odegaard back and stuff. We need this international break as well. So, yeah, man, this international break, we normally cry about these. We're loving this right now.
And the rest of you?
Hey, listen, it's the international break. I'm happy. I'm glad.
So you got sins to pay for, boy. But we're gonna get into.
No sins.
You got sins. You got sins. You got sins.
I have no sins to pay for.
You got sins. I promise you got sins. This is why I bookmarked stuff.
Jesus agenda can now.
Listen, we'll have it out. We'll have it out. I know Jesus is one prem. That's all I want to say. Hooks, the man who's trying to get me on Twitter now.
No, this guy didn't want to be part of us, did it? I hear he didn't want to be an Arsenal fan. The man came in with the Arsenal jersey. I hear it, bro. Has Jesus won a prem or not, Hooks? Hey. He's chilling. And we got a late arrival, man. He's got to pay his late fee still. You got to pay your late fee, man. It's not. Don't try coming on a wavy thing. Don't go missing that certain man yesterday. Yeah, man. Yeah, but you know what? Yeah. You know what? I'll let brother, man. You tell us how you are first before I go in. I'll let you go first.
Take the floor, man. I'm good, man. T, how are you, man? Let's get the festivities in, man.
Yeah, man. I'm good. I'm feeling slightly more positive than I thought I would have, given the result. In fairness, because of the performance, and I liked what I saw. I felt like I saw a bit more of Arsenal back, in terms of how we performed, especially in the second half. I felt a little bit more better about it, but frustrating in a way because of the result, and the big moments that we didn't take in the game.
See, I mean, that's
too. Go on, Hooks. Go on, Hooks.
You know what? I knew. See, people say I'm not smart, yeah, but I knew that I was smart in letting you, man, say how you was first, because all of you said I'm good, saw positives. Bunda.
Hey, listen, my life is good. I never said I'm
Hey, this is why you lot are here, man. This is why you lot are here, man. 2 man said they're positive. Why am I positive? Because it's 4 games without a win.
Bunda into the ground, bro. Bro, I feel like absolute shit, bro. I'm deflated, bro. I'm questioning, yeah, whether my club will ever make me happy again, bro. But I think man saying, yeah, I'm good, bro.
Why do you feel like that, Hooks? There's 27 games played. We've only played 11. Why would you feel like that?
Do you know why? Okay, let's break it down. Let's break it down. Yeah. Yesterday's game was the game where the players were meant to show me that they want to fight for this title, bro. It was a must-win game. It was the game where we was gonna find out. All right, cool, I'm man about it. It was the game where a lot of when I say you, man, I don't mean you, man, specifically, but maybe some of you, man, might have been saying this when Odegaard's back. Yeah, we're back again.
He did make a difference, though. Assist and that.
Whoa. He came back, yeah. We're still in the same rut that we was in when he wasn't here.
But it's been 2 months. The guy's not going to be sharp. Let's be real about it.
I mean, isn't that with the manager? Before we get on to Mikel Arteta, I mean, we can't look at the tools. We have to look at the tradesmen sometimes, surely.
I'm not the one that said Odegaard comes back into the team and everything is magically solved.
Neither
so I want to hear no 2 months out.
No, but you could also argue.
I want to hear that.
You could also argue, though. You could also argue that the performance from yesterday, had we played like that in the previous few poor games, we would have probably done better in them games. In isolation of a result yesterday, it weren't the be or end all, but it's the period that it's in. If this come out of three wins in a row, and then you put this performance in, I don't think anyone's saying nothing about it. I think Chelsea aren't that bad, bruv, this season. Like we got to be real. At Stamford Bridge, a place that
Giuseppe, they weren't that bad last year either, because they went and played Man City.
I give over T. We were shit.
They went and played Liverpool
for an hour, man.
Hey Giuseppe. See, I love that. That's what you said, bro. I love that. That's what you said. Yeah, because Arsenal fans have this affinity. Yeah, we're thinking that they're in the Marvel universe. None of that stuff happened, bro. We're not Doctor Strange, bro. We can't just circle and then you get me walking to another dimension, bro. In the world that we're in, yeah, none of that happened, bro. So I can't think about, if Erdegaard was back in the games that we might have done better, because he wasn't there, bro. But when he was here, yeah, nothing changed. The only thing, yeah, that I will say, is nobody else in our team is making that pass that Erdegaard makes. And that's the one type of thing that we've been missing.
I've seen Martinelli do that.
No, you've never in your life seen Martinelli do that, bro. Never in your life have you seen Martinelli. So that's if I was to say I have to, I don't know, do a Woody thing and reach for the sky. Pause. Obviously, pause. You know, Toy Story, reach for the sky. If I have to do that, yeah, then I'll be like, all right, cool. Erdegaard being back with a few more games under his belt, hopefully he builds up his match fitness with Norway to some degree. Touch.
Nah, man, he can't play for Norway. I know I've seen the rumors. He shouldn't be allowed to go, man.
Nah, we need him to speed up the process of getting back to being match fit in it, because we've got Nottingham Forest.
You don't think he looked all right? What, he played like 80, 90 minutes. I could be wrong. You don't think he looked all right?
Yeah. He looked good, but you know what it is, though? There is a bit of jadiness you could tell by the way that he played. The press was in phases rather than the way that he normally does it. It's a constant press. But this was like in moments, he picked his moments because he knew he wasn't going to last the 90 minutes. And obviously, part of the problem that we kind of drove ourselves into was we weren't scoring. So we needed to keep Odegaard on probably longer than we needed to. And I think the manager's plan was to try and get that game to 1-0, 2-0 early as we can, get Odegaard into, because he was creating opportunities. He was still breaking the lines and kind of getting Saka behind the lines, Martinelli behind the lines, and Kai Havertz, but they just weren't finishing their chances.
You saw Saka behind the lines yesterday?
No, he tried to, like I said, he tried to get, whether he'd done it or not, because, by the way, Cucurella locked him down. There's no questioning that. The plan that, Maresca put out for the fullbacks to target the wingers worked to a T. They couldn't handle that. Are we going to have a
conversation about the midfield, lads? I just want to know your lot's thoughts.
Yeah, of course, we'll get to that. But in terms of like Odegaard, I mean, it's a sign of things to come. We finally saw the press from the front. The only problem is that this team is lacking urgency as a totality, as a union. It's individuals who are trying to make things happen rather than as a team, as a collective, and as a unit, we're not doing it. Because it was Odegaard pressing them into mistakes. Whereas before you'd see Rice doing that, you'd see Martinelli doing that, you'd see Bukayo Saka doing that. But yesterday, what you saw and the difference was the energy Odegaard brought to the team, and that's what we've been missing. Now that we've got our captain back, hopefully we see the press more. Hopefully now we've got a leader on the pitch who's going to tell them to press and demand that from them. We start to see it. Now you can question the individual player mentality and individual pride to not be doing that in the previous sort of 3 to 5 games or so that we've not seen this urgency, especially against Inter Milan. Now, obviously we'll get onto the second half in a moment, but for me, you could tell that this is a player coming back, because there were moments in that game where he was a bit sloppy, but he also had those moments where that's Odegaard and that's what he's going to do.
That's where the goal came from, a turnover. That's where it came from, him winning the ball off Lavia and then working in those tight spaces. There's not like that when Hook says that no one else makes that pass, I do think Saka makes that pass. I've seen other players make that pass. With Martinelli, the whole play, but the whole play in itself, in winning that ball back with the press, in keeping it in those tight areas where there's
Smith Rowe makes that part. Oh, he's not here no more.
And then clipping the ball as well it was brilliant, and that's what we sorely missed. And we only saw it in spits and spurts because he's building up his fitness and sharpness. So
Saka's not making that pass, by the way.
He has. He's
He
already
literally made that pass against at Stamford Bridge last year, hooks, if you remember.
Bro, when I say that pass, yeah, I mean the technique behind it, bro. That's what I'm talking about.
he done it. Okay, go look at the Leicester assistant for Martinelli. It's exactly identical cross.
But yeah, I agree though with Odegaard. I think Odegaard should go international. I think we should ask them to use him sparingly, maybe not playing both 90 minutes. But I think he should go because you know what, we've all played football here. I'm guessing. I don't know. Hooks, you played football? You played? Or you seem like more of an American football guy. You seem more like Tony.
You know where I was going.
No, I'm joking.
I am the best baller on this panel right now, bro. The best baller, bro.
Against this right back, Charlie.
You must be talking about you, man. He's not talking about my team. He's not talking about my team.
Is that you, bro, with that Sony Ericsson video quality? I'm not even sure if that's
you.
That's
so deep, man. I'm just playing. I'm playing on the. I'm playing the game, man.
That's how long ago it was, man. I showed like 7 years ago.
I hear all of that. What, you four got footage? At least I got something. I came with something to the party. All right then. But
back to the point. Back to the point. And we've all played football, so you know, like I could tell yesterday he was like semi pulling out of stuff and not fully going in, and that always happens when you've come back from an injury. That first couple games back, normally you're a bit like it's in your head where you're like, but my ankle, I don't really want to overdo it. So I think he needs to get that out of his system. That could probably be good because Norway ain't playing like Portugal or something like that. They're playing quite easy-ish games for them. I say that they are
because they go rougher.
Yeah, but I think. Listen, if he's fully fit, it's fine. I don't like when players go and they've got a knock already, because that's what. Like, I would not be sending Saka. I would not be sending Rice, and I think they ain't going.
They've already been withdrawn.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that yesterday talking about the midfield as well.
What's that?
Because of you man's manager, 2 of our players got sacrificed because of you man's manager. Hold that.
Well, what do you mean 2 of our?
Nah, Hawks, you were sucking off Arteta as well, boy. Don't snake it. Don't snake it. In fact, before we get on to Hawks, I'm gonna allow you because there's one man on this planet that needs to address for his sins. I remember we were sat here, and my man said Mikel Arteta, no matter what, cannot be sacked. Souls, you have to answer for this. Especially if Liverpool go win this title. Come on, man.
Yeah, look, have they won it? We don't know the future, innit? Liverpool could have a catastrophic fall off. We don't know. Anything can happen. We've had our tough run. Liverpool are about to enter their tough run.
Come on, bro.
We've got our players back. We've got Captain Fantastic back. We've got Martin Odegaard. I'm cooking, mate. I'm gonna sit back and I'm gonna let it play out. As they say, sometimes you've got to sit back.
So if Liverpool win the league, do you look at Arteta funny sauce?
They're not gonna win it.
Now, how do we know that? Like, if they do win it, as you said, you can't predict the future, so they might win it. If they win it, are you looking at Arteta funny? Does he have to go?
But what if then Arteta goes win the Champions League? We don't know.
Okay, let's assume. All right, that's true. But let's assume that we don't win the Champions League and he wins the Prem. If he doesn't win the Prem, if Liverpool win the Prem, does Arteta have to face question marks?
You have to say. Yeah,
you're joining the cult. You're doing the cult thing. You're doing the cult thing. You're doing blood sacrifice.
The one thing I will say though, to this is like I think as Arsenal fans as well, we should actually try and cut out the whole manager in and out thing. Because listen, I think personally Arteta's done too much for us. So like he hasn't won anything, granted, but I don't think he deserves to be sacked mid-season at all. Like I think if the decision has to be made, it has to. Bar we lose our next like 7-8 games, that won't happen. He deserves the rest of the season regardless, right? So I think we should.
Why?
Because he's proven in the past that he can go.
Wait. Why?
Because bro, we're still in all competitions, bro.
No.
That's why I said in May if Liverpool win the league, but certain man were doing up deflection.
Bro,
At
No,
least-
no, yeah. As I say, the end. But this is what I'm saying because I agree with you, bro. If Liverpool win the league this year, I'm looking at him funny. So, but I think that we should leave that more towards the end of the season, bro. Like, do you get what I
Yeah.
mean? Because I think
Yeah, that's fair.
Listen,
I'm
I've said
with
to
you.
my mates, like, I don't think I think the league's done for Arsenal. I said, how beautiful. I was saying to my mates today, actually, I said, how beautiful would it full circle be that we now become the ones that bottled that 8-point gap, and now we become the ones that actually catch that and win the league. That would be
amazing.
That would be poetically beautiful. Yeah.
Do you think? Yeah. Okay. So now, just like all like cultism aside, pretend you're not an Arsenal fan. All them things there. Do you think that we can? Well, sorry. Do you think Arsenal can win the league?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
They can. Yeah.
So,
I don't
so
think they will.
when I say I'm not talking about possibility, because I could jump off a building and there's a possibility that I won't die. Yeah, I'm talking about probability, like things that are probable, not things that are
Yeah,
probable.
it's very probable at this stage in the season. Yes, if you're talking like sort of, let's say, February, March, then yes, a different conversation to be had. But
So-
right now, because what you've got to also understand, right, Liverpool haven't really strengthened their squad depth. They will get a period of time where the games come in.
But exactly.
Where
Exactly.
they start to drop points.
But exactly, exactly, bro. You just said it. Liverpool haven't strengthened, bro. So they're gonna
Yeah, but
No,
They
no,
could
because
not-
if we're going to have this sort of narrative, it'll be out of the realms of possibility for me to say Nottingham Forest can win the league. But it sounds stupid,
Bro,
right?
bro.
Because
Like,
it's too early
okay,
to say like guaranteed someone can
all
win
right.
the
Let me
league.
ask it in a different way then, because I hope that I would have received a better answer. Let me ask in a different way. Yeah. Do you think that Liverpool are gonna drop 9 points and Arsenal are gonna drop 0 points for the remainder of the season?
Well, that's impossible for us to drop 0. Like we're definitely going to drop more points.
We're understanding
Yeah.
now. Okay,
No. Yeah,
but-
but what's to
do you
say?
think
What's
Arsenal can win the league?
okay, but what's to say Liverpool don't drop 12 points?
No,
There's
no,
every
look,
possibility. We can
yeah.
sit here and do these statistics of who's going to drop this many points, who's going to drop that many points. At the end of the day, we haven't seen Liverpool be tested in a phase of runs we have.
Wait, what are you
We've had
talking
us-
about, bro? They played Chelsea and then they played Arsenal, then they played Aston Villa, bro.
Yeah.
Not back to back though.
Once again, they've
What?
definitely been tested in that. But like, once again, listen, after the international break, for example, right? We win our first 3 games after the international break, right? And Liverpool have Southampton, City, and Newcastle. Say they lose to City and then lose to Newcastle, and we win them games. All of a sudden now, out of nowhere, with just 3 games after the international break, we're talking 3 points difference. So it ain't actually that crazy to think these guys ain't City. They've not got slot. I agree that if this was City that far ahead, I would agree 1,000,000% we ain't catching them. I don't think if there were 9 points ahead playing the way Liverpool have been playing,
Bro.
there would be any drop off. But this slot guy, we
That's
don't
why-
know. He might fumble the bag, and he might the new year when it gets to crunch time where teams crumble.
You do know that Slot's won league before, right?
It's
Yeah,
not
but-
even necessarily
but-
fumble the bag, Giuseppe. It's simply they could have an injury crisis in an area themselves.
Yeah.
If they lost players in a cluster position like we have in this season, then that can easily happen. There's still a long way to go. Hooks. If you think it's done, that's fair. Probability, likelihoods on your side, that's fine. I don't. I know
Charlie.
Yeah, but no,
And-
Hooks, what you're doing there don't make sense because what you're
Okay,
doing there is
sure.
for everything. What
No,
you're
but
doing
you
there is-
just said they said Liverpool could have an injury crisis.
Yeah, but-
I'm just hearing a lot of
I say-
variables that Arsenal
This is
can
why
do.
we can't
Yeah.
rule out any
But what's the
possibility
difference-
in
but
the
what's the
I could
season.
fly. I could
Hooks, what's the
fly.
difference in
No,
saying
but
that, or
Hooks-
that? What's the difference in saying that and
They-
then saying Liverpool won't have a drop off? There's no difference. You could do that for Liverpool not having a drop off.
No. What are you talking? They could have an injury crisis and still be
Yes.
fine.
Yeah, but we'll have to wait.
But they can
but-
have
but-
no injury crisis and not be fine.
What are we
So
doing,
the narratives can go both ways right now.
Hooks.
bro? The copium is crazy.
It's not
bro.
copium. It's just genuinely what
Okay.
we believe. If
Did
you
go
can't
into the game?
understand that, that's fine.
Okay.
But we're giving you the reasons for why
You're
this
not
could
giving me a
happen.
reason,
There's-
bro. You're hoping.
Okay, I'll give you a
Okay,
reason.
let me give you a
Okay,
news
okay,
story.
Let me talk about Arsenal. All right, let me talk about Arsenal because I believe this team can go on a run of games. I believe that they can. Yes, we're going to need to have a little bit of luck in our favour. They've already proven to us that they can go on a run of games. So I think that this team can go on a run of games. And with the fixtures that are coming up, it is more favourable for us to go on a run of games.
Wait, you do realise that Arsenal's problem is never the big six. Arsenal's problem is the banana skins along the way.
Banana skin starts against.
I understand that, but then look at the banana skins that we've played this season and the circumstances. This is what I'm saying. Yes, we've had some poor performances. Look, but if you have a look at our games, actually, if you have a look at our games relative to last season that we've played in this season, so the fixtures, we've not dropped as many points as you may think. We have had a tougher run. We went to Newcastle last year. We lost. We went to Villa last year. We lost, and we won this season. Yes, the Bournemouth game, that's the 3-point twist. And then the Brighton one as well. But I believe in this team that they can go on a run of games. Hooks, I know you're not listening because you never do.
No. Do you know what it is?
That's so childish, man.
Do you know what it is? Okay. I'll stop trolling. Do you know what it is? It's just the Arsenal fan base frustrate me into the ground to no end because
I can't lie. I'm hearing a lot of ifs and buts, lads. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of variables that we can't necessarily control. Being devil's advocate.
It's like
when ifs and buts. So for you to say we're not going to win the league is also ifs and buts.
No, it's not.
Everyone's got ifs and buts right now.
When do Arsenal fans go? Okay. Let me focus on reality instead of whatever scenario I'm creating in my head to make it positive for Arsenal to win the league.
Okay, so the league's finished now. Liverpool win the league.
All I'm asking for, look.
Scouts is to celebrate then.
Look,
because it's not done.
All I'm saying is, I think all I'm saying, this is what I'm really saying, is I understand that you can throw out a variety of reasons as to why you may think, there's a chance for Arsenal to win the league. But the thing is, if we just use, I don't know, things like critical thinking and historical evidence, whenever this scenario that we're facing now has happened in the past, it's never ended the way that you man say it could end. Ever. It's never ended that way, bro. And look, we're on a run now. This run that we're seeing now, it's not like a new thing. We saw it last season. We've seen it the season before. The season before that. Arsenal.
No. There's a big difference when it happens on the business end of the season. There's a big difference between business end of the season and happening it now. Now it's favourable. Now you can rectify that and actually come back to it. City do it all the time. City go on these runs as well.
Souls, brother, man, you seem to be forgetting that Arsenal are notorious for being.
To be fair, we're not City. Even as poor as City are, everybody still expects them to do a thing.
Hooks. For example, until Manchester City won the league, they said the exact same thing. We're City, we never do it. Liverpool, same thing they were saying. We never do it. We're always the nearly men. We can only wait and see. This is what we think, that there is a possibility we can still win the league. There is so many things, mitigating factors that can happen in football. Liverpool didn't get 99 points and then 69 points the next season because they weren't good. That's not that's we know the reason.
Is it fair to say it's out of our hands then?
Of course, but football, of course, it's out of our hands because we're not in the lead, DG. We're 9 points away. We are going to have to hope Liverpool drop points, and it's very feasible that they do. Liverpool, how many points? If they go on and get over 90 plus points, fair play to them. Then if you say to me right now, Hooks and DG, Liverpool are going to get over 90 points, then I don't think we can win the league. But I'll be honest with you, I don't think Liverpool will get over 90 points.
Why not?
I disagree. I do think it's in our hands, and I'll tell you why. Because one of the things that you've got to understand, right, sports is a massive psychological factor. If you now start to absolutely dominate teams and put the pressure back on those teams to win, it does play a factor. The thing that City done to us that was very good was the fact that every time that we were going to have a blip or we were playing second, they would make sure that they won with good goal margins to put the pressure back on us. And every time you put pressure on, that's when mistakes can happen, especially with a manager who's so new to the league as well. Granted, he's won the league before. Maybe he has a know-how. But when you're in the Premier League, when you've got two pretty much teams at the moment, two informed teams who can do 10, 15 games without losing a single game of that, it does start to build up that pressure on those players to make sure they don't slip up.
So what happens if we finish third in May then?
I think
Who's what? Have you man watched Liverpool? Like, I don't mean like the odd game here or there. I mean, like,
I have, yeah.
Yeah.
I can bring you some examples.
So you'll know, yeah, because you've watched them, yeah. They're not winning their games by luck. Like, it's not luck that's making them win their games. They're actually having very controlled performances. The way that they're actually playing, they're winning these games because they're actually playing better and are the better team, and they're actually they're eating their dinner. Like, you know what I mean? They're not messing around. And on top of that, yeah, they're not actually, it's not Klopp Klopp ball where these men were getting run into the ground. These men are not getting run into the ground. These men have hella energy, bro. I felt sorry for Aston Villa. Bro, every time they had a corner, bro, I thought they was gonna lose their lives, their wives, their everything, bro. It was crazy, bro.
And if we're talking about Liverpool here, yes, you're right. They are looking more controlled. But we also saw with this same squad last year in games in the business end, them go cold in front of goal. Is that true? Did that happen where they had Crystal Palace and they battered Crystal Palace and didn't end up scoring a goal and should have? When they played Everton, had over 2 expected goals and scored 0. We've also seen with this Liverpool team, I've also looked in certain games against Crystal Palace this season. There was a bit of luck involved in there.
Fair,
one, they could have had a penalty, and two, Eze
fair.
missing a huge opportunity. Those things called variants, they happen in football, and they've slightly gone in Liverpool's favour, even just in terms of the fixture list that they've had. The start to the season has. Yes, they've been very good. They deserve to be top of the Premier League. We're not debating that. We're just trying to look ahead and say, Liverpool, are they going to sustain this level of form throughout the rest of the season? I don't think so.
But what if they haven't hit, argument's sake, what if they haven't hit full gear yet? Because I'm very sure 10, 11 games, I don't think there's a single manager that thinks their team is full.
We don't know
they get better?
But this is football, and we never know that, because
I'm just asking the question. Just asking the question.
When we were 13 games into the season, we looked incredible. Didn't we, guys? We looked since.
I mean, it's clear that we just need to start winning games to have any hope.
Record points in half point of the season.
Listen,
so
look at the next 5 games, right? Our next 5 games: Nottingham Forest, Sporting, West Ham, Man United, Fulham. Yeah, now go and win them. The first things first, you got to win the games. We got to come back after win them 5 games, right? Let's remove the Champions League, but I'll put it in there so you know, like, the level of people we're playing. Then look at Liverpool's next 5 games, being Southampton, Real Madrid, Man City, away at Newcastle, away at Everton, which for them is a tough game. But it's feasible that the gap closes there. The gap's closing on one of them when they play City, and I'm telling you, City are probably...
Yeah, they've only got a 5-point gap on City, 11 games into the season. But it's a good start.
So this is what I'm saying. So for me, we'll know better after the next 5 games, in my opinion, because I think that there could be a change in the rankings of where we are. Because listen, once again, is it not feasible that Liverpool lose to City, then don't get 3 points away at Newcastle, and then draw to Everton? That's possible. And
football's weird. They could beat both them teams and lose to Everton. Football's a weird old game.
We didn't predict that.
So we'll have to wait and see. This is what I mean. I don't think we'll go and win the league this season at the moment. If we come back from the international, but last season, I'll be real. Yeah. Last season in December, there was that period we went through, and I'm like, there's no chance we're winning the league, bruv. It's done. Then come last 2 games of the season, we're like, bruv, we can win the league. And we
So Giuseppe, how do you look at Arteta if we don't win the league then this year? Because it's the 3rd time of asking.
If we don't win the league this year, yeah, and there's no trophies coming in, we have to be looking at options. If a trophy comes in, yeah, like an FA Cup comes in or something, and we're still battling and we don't like completely fall off of that title race, I'll have to sit back and say, can this be a blip year? Like that does happen. Once again, people that have played football will know that when these players included and that have been battling for 2 years and they haven't done it, and they had a little year where it just didn't all go for us. We had that few injuries, maybe the mentality after going, because it's hard, bro. Title races, definitely with this City team, is hard mentally and physically. Maybe it's a year like that, and next year we come and all of a sudden, boom, this team's gone again.
Why is it being devil's advocate? Why does it appear to always be next year under Mikel Arteta? Because the rebuild is great, but it's now about getting over the line. Surely this is our third year meant to be fighting for it.
I know it's annoying and that, and I think like once again, if we don't win the Premier League and that, and we don't win no trophies, 100% we got to look at options. And even if we win the FA Cup, I'm not against Arsenal if we don't win the league and Liverpool win the league. I'm not against looking at options, but it has to be for me someone top drawer. No, I'm not trialing someone, bro. I'm not gonna let if we win a trophy and that, I'm not gonna let him go to trial someone else. Yeah, it's got to be someone that is actually won shit and has actually proven that he can go and win the league. You know, once again, it's a tough one because it's all circumstantial in a way for me. Once again, we might get to the Champions League final, face Madrid, and just miss out, and then that makes you think differently about what about this, what about that. There's so many different variables. As of right now, if we aren't in the title race and Liverpool win the league and we don't win a cup, 100%, I'm with you. We got to be looking.
So where do you lot stand on that then? The rest of you, big up Giuseppe.
Yeah, for me, I'm with Giuseppe. When we get if there's we're doing ifs and buts for this as well, aren't we, guys? Like that's what that's what we have to do, because that's as fans in football, you don't know what to predict. So the scenario comes where Arsenal win nothing and we don't really compete, challenge for anything, then it has to be a conversation. Where is this going? We have regressed, and why? And is this manager the right one to take us forward? Then we can look at it. But for now, for me, it's taking it a game at a time. Football seasons are crazy, man. Like so many things happen. I think Neil Gunner said it in the chat.
From us winning the league.
Listen, Liverpool were very good at the beginning of last season. They went to Spurs away and should have won, but they got refereed off the. We seen that. We know how that happens, and that had a big knock-on effect for them, given suspensions and those things, and that has a big impact in football. So yeah, with Arteta, we'll have to wait and see. But from what I saw yesterday, in terms of that, I saw more of the Arsenal of last year.
Last 2 games have been a step in the right direction, but we ain't won.
Yeah, exactly. And then we have to, but we know the areas, and we spoke about this after Newcastle, didn't we? As a collective, the area that we are weak in is an attack, and that's going to be our downfall, really, for me this season. If we don't go and win a major trophy or even compete, is because we are short in attack, and we are lacking some more. Look, I don't mind our starting attack.
Who's to blame for that?
That's again, we have to look at Arteta, Edu, the people the recruitment, the board even. But we can't, as fans, can we fully put to blame because we don't know the scenario? Do you remember what I said always? And I always stand by this. I never go fully in on transfer windows because you don't know the circumstances. Because I saw Liverpool, Manchester City barely recruit. So
do you know what?
Can I ask you something? Can I ask you a question?
Just quickly, Giuseppe, because on that point, yeah. So Manchester City didn't need to recruit because because the only team at the time that was challenging them didn't recruit properly. We didn't do anything in the summer.
Liverpool didn't challenge for the league.
We didn't do nothing. And Liverpool didn't recruit because they're in a scenario right now where they're trying to figure out, okay, is Salah staying? Is Van Dijk staying? Is Alisson staying? Is Trent staying? They can't commit to sign. They can't commit into buying big players in the summer for all them players to decide they're going to stay, and now their squad's bloated. So I guarantee you, come January, they would have figured out, okay, who's getting the new contract, who's not, and then you will see Liverpool do what Liverpool need to do in the transfer market.
To be honest, folks, I don't even necessarily think it's that, because they had an up change up in their structure. Remember, Julian Ward, Michael Edwards came in, Richie Hughes, those likes of, they had a lot of upheaval, so they didn't have the sufficient time to plan correctly. But even then, they still tried to pursue Zubimendi, and that didn't work out. So I saw plenty of others try and not really recruit in the summer. So I'm not going to be 100% on that. But what we can judge is the 5-year span. And the area that we haven't improved enough on is the attack. And I'm looking at especially the difference between us and Liverpool right now is their attack. And not just their starting attack. They've got Salah, who can score goals out of nothing and create out of nothing. Their bench players are actually performing for them.
How much of that is down to Arteta then? Because we praise him for how he's built the squad.
Exactly.
We've
so
ask questions.
We've praised him for how he's built the defense, the goalkeeper,
So surely he's got to hold that.
He's shored those areas up. But in terms of the attack, I'm sorry, we have to look at when looking at this season, with our attackers, what Martinelli, Saka, Havertz as the starting ones, and Trossard was in there. Trossard's levels have dropped. Jesus, my word, we all expected at least 5 to 10 goals from him this season. It doesn't look like we're going to
see him back. He's seeing back. Don't sleep on him. He's finished.
With his performance yesterday, he doesn't even look like he's anywhere near threatening. And that is poor for someone that is on 270k a week and we spent a lot of money on, and he's a part of the leadership group. It's not good enough at all. And Liverpool don't have that issue because Jota goes down, gets injured. Nunes comes up and pops up. This is what I'm saying with Liverpool. Their difference between us and them is their attack. They can score at any moment.
But you didn't really address what DG said though, innit? So
what's that?
DG said, for the defense, for the midfield, Arteta is the man. He gets all the praise. So what about the attack? If you're going, you can't praise Arteta for the defense and the midfield, but then when it's like, okay, so what about the attack now? Who's going to hold the blame? You go, but really, Trossard,
you did not listen to a word I said at the beginning then, because I literally said we can criticize what he's done and built in across the 5 years, not just last summer, across the 5 years.
But last summer is very important. The summer that just went is very important because I'm pretty sure everyone on this panel knew that, yeah. And as far as I'm aware, none of us are managers, knew that we needed a striker.
And
everybody knew this.
Inside forward at the bare minimum, and I think it's inexcusable.
And do you know what? As well, but this is sorry, Giuseppe. Can I just say this and then I'll let you go, bro?
Yeah, go on.
Arsenal did attempt to sign, and we were unsuccessful in the summer in the attack, didn't we? Do you remember that? And we were unsuccessful. So are you listening to what I'm saying now? Because I'm telling you, that's not good enough. And Arsenal haven't done well there.
No. You're saying Arsenal. No. This is the problem, bro. You're saying Arsenal. But
yes, Edu, Arteta included.
No, because you're praising Arteta. Well, not you specifically, because I'm speaking more about this. You're praising Arteta for the defense and the midfield.
Not just Arteta. I praise Edu for that as well. Not just and Arsenal. So Arteta included, because it's not just Arteta. Arteta's not the one negotiating.
But Eddie's gone now. So we know that there's power struggles in the back.
What? He was still here.
So we know there's power struggles in the back. Maybe.
And what I can also tell you, Hooks, because this is what I'm saying, but we don't always know the circumstances. That's why I'm not isolating it to just last summer. It was very clear Arsenal were only going to sell. We had to sell to buy, and that's what I'm looking at. Why are Arsenal in that situation?
Why though? Because earlier in the season we were told, 200 million.
So can I say, so on that, Hooks though, but then how much of that can you blame Arteta for? You think Arteta don't want the players? You think that he's the one? He's sitting there going,
you know why I blame Arteta?
You've got 100.
Everyone's got to share the L's and the W's, man. Because Arteta's spunk some of the P's as well. Let's be honest.
Once again, I agree. Yeah, I agree. But he's got to hold some blame. But once again, you can't put it all on him because I'm sorry. There's no way he got told you've got 120 million to spend in attack, and he's gone. Actually, no, I don't want to spend that money though. I just
So the scenario was this. Kroenke said, look, we'll front 200 to 250 million pounds on the basis you get rid of the players you're not going to use. Because what we don't want happening is the players of values that you're not using.
To be fair, the players he brought in or put on contract. So it is his own.
Such as them, Fabio Vieira, those kind of players who do hold market value. But because he's not been playing them or using them as an important role of the squad, their values are tanking. So the Kroenke said, on the basis you can get rid and get their market value for them, we're willing to invest further. But if you're going to start to have this squad and not utilize them, then we're not going to invest further. So what they then did was, okay, cool. So we've got that there. They tried to go for Benjamin Sesko. Benjamin Sesko decided he wanted to stay another year at RB Leipzig. They then returned their focus to, the likes of Nico Williams and trying to get a left winger in. That was unsuccessful due to the fact that he wanted to go to Barcelona. Now, when you want to say who's to blame, this is why I blame Edu, and I'm so fucking glad he's gone. Because the reason why is Arteta's job is to recommend players. It's Edu's job to go and get those signings done. Now, when you understand how Edu operates is when you'll start to understand why I blame him a lot more than I blame Arteta. Edu values keeping relationships happy with clubs rather than getting business done. He would rather sacrifice getting a deal done.
That's harsh because Edu's known as a
It's not,
notoriously
though.
difficult
If you
businessman.
listen-
I think you're absolving Arteta off a lot, especially when the club come out and say scouts bring players to Arteta's front. We've even heard on the Athletic that the recruitment front, the first team coaches are having more of a hands on saying Edu feels like his role's actually diminished. So let's be a bit fair to everybody.
But I've not even finished. You guys are
go on, but it just sounded a bit one-sided there. I'm not going to lie. We've got to be fair.
You both are solid, right, at getting in without listening to the full point. So what I'm saying is the reason why Edu, and I say why he values relationships over getting a deal done, is because that's how he operates. Even if you look at big operative people who have spoken about these transfers have said that. Even when you look at the opposition reports, like if you look at the reports coming out of Spain, when you come out of the Nico Williams camp as well, when you look at the reports coming out of France, Edu is notorious for wanting to keep relationships happy with the agencies and also with the clubs.
That part's true.
And if that then means he doesn't get a deal done, it's like the Mikel Moreno thing. Mikel Moreno should not have cost us that much, but they wanted to keep things happy with them. They wanted to keep that relationship good. He's done that with the likes of Lyon. He's done that with the likes of other clubs that we've negotiated with as well. So that's where Edu's downfall comes in, because he's not ruthless enough in the market to actually realize we're not wanted. We've been rejected by a player, and he still seems to want to, pursue a player that we're not interested. That's not interested in us. Edu, look, Arteta's core criteria is this is what he wants. These are the players he wants. It's Edu's job to go get them done. The likes of Richard Garlick to get it done. The likes of, I can't remember who the new guy that we brought in is, but for him to get it done. These are the guys negotiating the contracts. And
didn't he do that with Gabriel Jesus, Kai Havertz, etc., etc.? Because you can't draw out a man with one hand and not praise him with the other.
Okay, what do you want me to comment on Jesus and Havertz? Be specific with it, and I'll.
No, because like you're criticizing him on one hand and then saying like he's doing things. If Arteta is identifying Gabriel Jesus, Zinchenko, who did well at a point, Kai Havertz, and he's getting these things over the line, you have to give praise and critique fairly. Like surely they're all into it. But it sounded like Edu's done nothing well at the club.
But that's what I mean. You need to.
I'm just asking based on what you said.
What I'm saying is, when it comes to those high-profile signings, the ones that we're unlikely to even get done, the likes of Nico Williams, the likes of Benjamin Sesko, the likes of Victor Gyökeres, those kinds of high-profile, the Mudryk even. Mikhailo Mudryk was an embarrassment for us to not get done. The guy was
DG, I'm glad. Sorry, Souls, because we heard what you're saying. DG, I'm glad you brought this up because this is what I was going to mention. But when you also have to look at it from what we know, and that Edu grew frustrated with the club in terms of he had deals lined up, but they weren't able to commit them because of our buying.
That's what I'm saying. You can't just draw out Edu and praise Arteta, or just get out Arteta and praise Edu.
One thing quickly.
He had deals lined up. And Arsenal didn't make it happen. I'm curious.
Yes, this is in the Athletic article that DG just pulled up here. So what I'm going to say is, when Hooks said to me, "Are you blaming Arteta?"
He even says he pivoted towards Neto after the whole technical stuff for forcing it with Garcia.
It's a collective. The man who will lose his job is Arteta if it doesn't work out. Yes, that makes sense. You understand that always happens in football, but it's a collective. If Arteta fails, it's not just Arteta. Arsenal have failed.
That's my point.
Yeah.
Do you know?
What's the rebuttal to? What's that got to do with Edu? I'm confused.
What?
Because Edu's job is still there.
The overriding factor is it's a collective. What everybody said.
When has Arteta gone to the negotiation tables of La Liga and gone,
"No,
this is what we're going to do"?
But what we know
you're telling me about Kai Havertz. How was Kai Havertz a good deal? We got finesse. We got.
I'm not saving Edu and saying, listen, Edu defo could have done better with some of the recruitment. I don't necessarily think he's done difficult deals. The one thing I'll praise him for
the reason why I don't praise him, look, Arteta identifies these players, so he gets praised for identifying them.
So if he
Edu's been
identified
fleeced.
Kai Havertz, he
Edu's
went
been
and got
getting
it.
fleeced on these deals.
Are you finishing? We'll talk. Go
Yeah,
on.
Edu's been getting fleeced time and time and time again on these deals. We have played over market for virtually every player we signed.
We're not begrudging that, but on one hand, as much as you're criticizing Edu, and again, everybody shares the L's and W's. My point is everyone's a collective. When we signed David Raya, it was well agreed within the world of football that Aaron Ramsdale had his spot at Arsenal. We're not disagreeing that Raya is an improvement. We know, as again, I could go through the Athletic. There was question marks about signing Raya, about signing a left back, about committing 65 million to Kai Havertz, about getting rid of Aubameyang's deal. These are all things that Mikel Arteta pushed. Now, clearly, Edu could. The only thing I praise Edu for is ultimately, if Arteta wanted these deals, you didn't get the best money, but you got it done. You signed new deal, you signed players to new contracts as well. But you can't, Edu, to a degree. Let people finish, man. Edu obviously, surely has to be given some sort of leeway, because on one hand, if he's not identifying targets and getting deals done, that's fair enough. But if Arteta is saying I want X, Y, Z, and he's bringing it, we can't just get at Edu. Even as it says here, the coaching staff have exerted more influence over first team recruitment. So his hands are kind of tied in that regards. And let's cut the crap. We all know if it comes to it, and if Mikel Arteta has a concern and Edu has a concern and the Cronkies are listening, we all know Mikel Arteta is getting his way. My point being, once again, is not Edu or Arteta. It's everyone.
Praising these signings on were pivot signings. They weren't even our first choices.
Then Arteta has to be with that as well.
This is why,
because it's well known that several players are suggested. We couldn't get Conde. We went again in the Athletic, so we got Benjamin White. We can't just keep blaming people. Like, how do we know that Edu wanted Fabio Vieira?
On 95%,
Edu's not giving Eddie and Ketia a new deal unless Arteta either way is sanctioning.
But the
my point being, we can't just absolve Arteta of everything.
Can't get his players in.
Arteta has to. Arteta is the manager, not a head coach.
Time and time again, he has failed to get the first team opportunities in. Arteta is having to suggest more players, having to keep players because Edu's incompetence to actually get signings through the door. Vlahovic, what happened there?
I don't.
What happened to Alessandro Martinez?
We didn't bid for Alessandro Martinez.
Time again, the Arteta's asked for a signing and he's had to pivot. Trossard was not his first choice. Michaela Mudryk.
Yeah, to be fair, they got blew out the water with Mudryk.
No. The Cronkies turned around and said you have the money to go spend it.
And they said no.
Why did it even take us to the point of Chelsea coming in?
I don't think you're being. I think there's a lack of integrity now.
The crowd won straight with Shakhtar Donetsk to get the signing of Michaela Mudryk. We wanted him in the summer, let alone that winter window. And this is why I'm saying, when you look at the whole picture, trust me, Edu is not that guy. That's why I'm glad he's gone. Now we can get the.
Nobody thinks Edu's that guy. It's just not fair to just blame the guy, especially when we hear.
Exactly, because I blame Arteta, and do you know why I blame Arteta? Because we're not rocket scientists. We all know we needed a striker. So why are we signing Calafiori and Mikel Moreno before we're signing a striker? We could have easily gone.
He wanted Edu, couldn't get
but the thing is, bro, I'm not being funny. If you're telling me that Sesko was Arteta's #1 striking target for this summer, then Arteta's an idiot. He's an absolute idiot. He's an absolute idiot. No, do you know why he's an absolute idiot? Because just look at what's happening now. Mm-hmm. We all know who's the greatest striker for Arsenal right now. We all know.
They went in for Gyökeres as well.
We all know.
I think the club were complacent with Kai Havertz's form, if I'm honest with you. Like, Sesko's the only one we tried to go for, to our knowledge.
You're telling me, you're going to sit here and tell me that pivoting from Sesko to Gyökeres is something that we couldn't do. So we're going to tell you. But do you know why we couldn't do it? Do you know why we couldn't do it? Because Arteta went, I want Calafiori. I want Mikel Moreno.
Yes, because he also needed those positions. That's regardless of the striker. That's regardless of everything. Okay. So what?
Surely Arteta has to take some responsibility on the recruitment front. Then
we need 3 positions. So what do we do? Just ignore the other 2 because we can't get 1?
What? No. We go and secure the highest priority one first. That's what we do.
But if that's not happening, what do you want him to do? Just sit there and go, actually, guys, we wanted a striker. Also, we tried to negotiate. That didn't happen. So we didn't get a midfielder and we didn't get a left back.
How much did we buy Calafiori?
The fans have said only focus on the priority.
How much did we buy Calafiori for? 50
million. The money is never an issue.
Okay,
The
cool.
money was
How
not
much
an
are we
issue.
buying?
I respect
How much are we buying?
And to be fair with Calafiori, Edu got that deal closed from early. The Athletic said Edu got that closed from early. The club were kind of hissy fitting around it, and they only moved forward when Real Madrid started sniffing around it. To be fair to Edu as well.
So how much are we signing Mikel Moreno for?
35 or
25
something.
million.
So add that together, we could have hit Gyökeres release clause. Boom, strikers in. That's why I
So we
blame
needed
Arteta.
more than just
And
that.
that's why I blame
And,
Arteta.
but Hooks, I'm sure if you asked Arteta, he would have signed those two and Gyökeres if he wanted.
Yeah,
Like,
no, but the point I'm trying to make is where Arteta is being absolved from like blame. I put the highest blame on Arteta because I know, like DG said, if it comes to a conversation where Edu and Arteta disagree and the Kroenkes are listening, the Kroenkes are taking Arteta's side.
100%, I believe so.
Under the sun. So if I'm Arteta and I know, because I know he's not stupid. I know he's a smart guy. I know that he knows that we need a clinical player in the front line more than needing a left back / centre back and a midfielder. When at the time we actually had Smith Rowe, who could have easily played that role.
Here's the thing,
I hear
right?
that.
Here's the
Why
thing.
is
Here's the
why
thing
is
with-
he not going
Listen,
to Kroenkes and
listen.
going Rowe?
Arteta has. Listen, there's a bit in it. Hold on, Souls. There's a bit. Of course, there's blame on Arteta. There's blame on everyone. I agree with what DG said. There's literally blame on everyone.
That's
But
it, Giuseppe. For
once
me,
again,
everyone's involved.
Once again, we got Calafiori 45 million euros. Yeah, euros. And then we got Mikel Arteta 32 million euros, right? So that is still actually under 100 million euros is what they wanted for Gyökeres, regardless.
No. Gyökeres has an 80 million euro release clause.
Yeah. Are you sure? Are you?
Yeah,
Because I heard that
100 million.
It works out
100 million.
100 million.
It works out to
100
about
million
65
euros.
million pounds.
No, now that's changed. It was 100
That's
million
enough.
euros, and it was 80 million pounds for around for Arsenal. Yeah, so we didn't even spend it. But you don't know that Arteta hasn't said, "Listen, I need that defender, I need the midfielder, and I need the attacker." And the club has let him down, and they've got the first two, and he goes, "Look, we'll get them quick because them deals can get done quick, and we're going to get that." And then they didn't get that done. So there's that side of things. But once again, you can argue that should Arteta have said, "Well, I want the striker first. I need that guy first." Maybe that Havertz form played a part in why they thought maybe it weren't like the drastic first one needed. But I think the club let us down. I think that not spending the money let us down.
Oh, everyone in the club has let the fans down without a doubt. Because we like, I don't know about you lot. I did like the signing of Calafiori. I did think people were going a bit OTT with Moreno. Now he's going to change our fortunes. And I think they've kind of flipped the script and they're attacking him. But that's a good addition. Definitely not happy with Sterling signing, but it's better than nothing. But I don't think anyone can sit here and say we've improved our depth or we really, really looked at it and said we've got curtain raisers. I don't think we have. That's why I have to ask you lot, are we complacent as a football club? There's those away from Arteta, because I can criticize whether he's going about it right or wrong, but I think he wants to win. Collectively as a club, do we want to win trophies?
Now that Edu Gaspar's gone, time will tell who was to blame.
Yeah, I agree with that. Because come the summer, yeah,
and you surely can't just blame, like, you know what, with Arteta, like, you look at some of these signings, the vast majority.
That's why I said now time will tell. Because if it is you know Arteta, we'll see the same exact pattern.
Something about these signings, yeah. There's something about these signings that I was looking into and that saying that, and I don't think they're all like. I don't want to.
What if he's over budgeted and they've said we've got to rein it in a bit?
I don't want
to. These fees.
I don't want to back Arteta in this, yeah. But there's certain players that I don't think are Arteta signings. I don't think Fabio Vieira was an Arteta signing. I don't think Lokonga was an Arteta signing. I don't think these sort of players are Arteta signing. I'll tell you why. Yeah, because I've noticed a lot with Arteta signings, the ones he really wants, the Kai Havertz, the Ben Whites, and that. Even when these guys have been poor or not started great, he's persisted with them and he's kept playing them and he's keep putting them in. Players like Fabio Vieira, Lokonga, this guy was never even playing them. Literally, it was like he refused to play
point,
them.
to be fair.
So I don't. So when I look at
Nuno Tavares,
I'm like, Nuno Tavares, I look at these players and I think that's not a guy that wanted that player. Because if you wanted that player, you play him. Like it's almost like he refuses to play Fabio Vieira and Kiviors and these guys.
No. He plays Kibio. That's what the point I'm making is like Kibio is an obscure signing, but anytime he's needing someone to come on, it's Kibio.
What I will say, and this is to make
now
the
we're getting into a bit
argument
of a cop-out.
balanced. This is where we make it balanced because Arteta has a say in all of these signings.
Exactly, man. They're not
So,
signing off on these deal sheets. Now that's where it's a bit of a
has
cop-out.
let's call it a veto. If he doesn't want Fabio Vieira, he will say, I do not want Fabio Vieira. Shall I tell you how we know that? Because of Ivan Toney. He did not want
This
Ivan
is my
Toney.
point.
No.
Everyone's
Ivan
in
Toney
this.
was also a board decision as well, because what happened was Brentford played Arsenal at home in the Emirates that season, and something happened between them. And ever since then, they said no.
No, so
Because Edu wanted Toney, but the board and
we talk
Arteta.
about PR.
Come on, man.
DG, I was on here with you, and you was here as well, Souls. And there was a lot of rumours coming out from the club that Arsenal do not like Arteta, does not like Ivan Toney as a person.
There was a board as well. It was Edu wanted him.
That's the point. It's a collective decision. So surely we've got to all collectively share the L's and W's generally. Of course, there'll be some that are more Edu and some more
I agree. I'm not saying Arteta was refused any of these players. I'm not saying that. Once again, I think that maybe the player he wants, they were like, we can't get him, but what about this guy? Maybe with this guy, and Arteta might settle and say, yeah, cool. And I know, and you know how I know he done that? Because he done that with our goalkeeper, bro. Because he
definitely done that with Ramsdale. Great point.
And then when he could get the guy he wanted, he just booted this guy out the team, and now we sold him, bro. Like, this is what I mean. So there's blame on, but there is also blame on Arteta. There's blame on the board. There's blame on.
Bearing in mind, he's the manager, not the head coach anymore.
Yeah, he's the manager, and once again, there is thing. But I always like, and this ain't only for Arsenal. I do this for all clubs. Yeah, I can only blame the manager to a certain degree when it comes to signings, unless there's 100%. Signings that they've wanted and they're crap, in the sense of not signing players, because there is no way in hell you could tell me that they said to Arteta, you can have another 2 forwards, and him refused to take them and say, actually, I just don't want them. There's no way in hell. So that's
what if they sat there. Go on, Giuseppe. I want to ask you something, because what if, obviously, I actually think the vast majority of our signings have been well. You know, Zinchenko and Jesus worked to a point. I don't necessarily think that's Mikel Arteta's fault why Jesus is where he's at. Clearly, Zinchenko needs to be able to defend, right? But between whether it's Edu or Mikel Arteta, and ultimately he's the manager, we've spent a lot of money. What if in the summer, somebody mentioned PSR in the chat, what if they said, you know what, you had Ramsdale, we got you Raya, we've got you as many defenders as you want, we spent a lot of money. What if they said, we're literally not going to act because of such? Now, I can criticize the Cronkies, but we all know they like to live within their means. So how far does it go? How much of Mikel Arteta and Edu engineered this as well?
The thing you have to go back to is the Kai Havertz signing. That's the one you'll go back to and say that was the mistake. Then,
I don't even think it was a mistake. I just think it's a knock-on cause.
I'm not saying it was a mistake, because I think he's actually been a decent signing. But what I'm trying to say is, if they've then saying, well, we gave you the 60 million for an attacker and you bought Havertz, and that's why now this summer we can't sign the striker. But that means it was Havertz was the choice out of Havertz and a Gyökeres or something. I also to blame one thing I will maybe blame Arteta on it, that you could argue. I don't know if this is facts or it's not facts or anything. It's just my thought process is I do think he's a stubborn man as well. Well, we know he's a stubborn man. So I don't know,
really.
So I don't know. I feel like he could be like, where they're like, oh, listen, in the summer or in January or next summer, we'll go and get you. We'll give you the money to go and get Isaac. And he wants Isaac so much that he's like, all right, cool, I won't sign a striker this summer, so I can then sign Isaac next summer. Like, I think he's stubborn enough to actually do that, which is on him.
You're bang on the money. Remember when we missed out on top 4 to Spurs, where we had money in January and we didn't sign? That's in theory. I like the fact that we've kind of reined that in a bit, if I'm honest with you, to be honest.
Yeah. So listen, it's on everyone. I think that like people a lot of fans try and dig out Zinchenko and Jesus signings. I think they've for what they were good signings for when they were. I actually think them two actually bring us probably our money back on them near enough. To be honest, we didn't pay loads for them. I think they've just been left behind, man. Yeah, it's just I think we just jumped up like ridiculously from when we signed them to now. Listen, it's one of them ones where I think that this club needs to go and do something in January. Like 100%. This is the year. Yeah, I know we say it every year about January, but this is the year where like you didn't spend in the summer. We made money in the summer. Yeah, we actually made profit in the summer.
So you're not optimistic about January then? Like I assume we're talking strikers, wingers, and the rest of it.
I can never be optimistic for an Arsenal summer, January. I can never be optimistic. You'll never find me twerking for January Yeah, pause. Yeah, because we've never done it. They've never given me anything to believe that. But listen, if there's a release clause on the Gyökeres or something, it ain't out of the realm of possibility that Arsenal say, you know what, we didn't do it in the summer. We need to activate this now and just get him in. Their manager's just left them. He might say, you know what, fuck this team, then I'm going. Like this is what I think this would show me that they're serious. But the only thing that the fear I have for January now is that we've not got the new guy in. It's a step in for Edu. So I'm not sure if they're going to kind of say, like, we're going to leave the sidings for the summer when the new guy comes in and that. Do you get what I mean? That's the worry for me.
We do need to sign someone in January, but again, are we going to do it? Because I think DG said it there when the opportunity was in that January where we didn't miss out on top four. We didn't do it because Arsenal are so focused on we're so focused on getting the right players in who we fully believe in, who we think is going to do it, rather than getting someone to make. We're not particularly keen on them, but. Yeah, so and things with January is a lot of opportunistic signings too, because you're not going to get the
reactive window, man.
Yeah,
you only got Trossard because he had 1 foot out the door with De Zerbi. Not to criticize it, that's the reality of it.
And we can probably say now we can see the reason why that kind of relationship broke down in terms of a little bit with Trossard's. I'd probably say more attitude on the pitch sometimes we see, but yeah. It's one of them. We are a step short in the attack, definitely. And again, we'll judge this at the end of the season. If we miss out, we know the reason why, and we know we're short in the areas. And they will have to, and as a collective, the club, in Arteta included, Edu included, and the board will all have to. We'll all be asking questions of all of them.
Not Edu. He's no longer here.
Yeah, but we can then say Edu's time is he improved us.
And that's something we could touch on. What do you lot make of the sporting director situation then? Because Edu's gone. There's rumours he'll be doing gardening leave. Obviously, even in the summer, Saliba, Big Gabriel Martinelli, I think even Saka, they got 2 years left. We've been talking about transfers. There's a lot of work to do, and there's not someone in the position right now. So, like, do you lot feel a bit uncomfortable?
Go and get someone. Go and headhunt someone and take them, bro. This is when Arsenal have to go and act like a real team now. Like, go to a team. It doesn't matter if they're at another club. Go and say, we're going to give you the money. We want you to come. We want you to be the guy for us.
Giuseppe, realistically, yeah, we do need to do that. But realistically, they're not going to come until the summer either, because of how this sporting director works. You've seen it in Manchester United, guys. They tried to get Dan Ashworth. They had to go for a long process in terms of that.
When they have to pay compensation as well.
When you're taking someone out of a job at that sort of role, they're going to have to go through a 6-month notice period or whatever. But currently, right now, okay, we'll have to wait. We'll have to wait and see who we get. Again, that's the question. Are you confident that the club are going to get someone that is better than Edu? Because of how we've recruited in that area before. I'm not too sure, but what we have in place right now is we do have Jason Aito, who was his assistant. So we have someone who's interim in terms of that can go and get signings done in the summer and get prepared and start to be happening in the summer. We've got something in place, and not just in the summer, in January. So there's no excuses for me. I don't want to use because Edu's not here, we can't sign anyone. No, we definitely can. We definitely can if they're available, and we've got that sorted.
Who is really Jason Aito though? Like really, like.
Well, I mean, I don't know, but the Athletic said he was Edu's right hand man, innit, and he's doing some sort of interim thing.
Like, cause like Arsenal's, I guess for me, one of the maybe the biggest problem with Edu, and something that we need to solve with the next sporting director, is his phone book was dead.
Yeah, I agree. Like, he didn't pull no rabbits out the hat. It sounds harsh, but yeah, man. He went Brazil and came back with Marquinhos. That says it all. That's where Edu has to hold licks, really. I haven't looked at Edu and thought he's amazing, sort of thing. And I don't know how it works in the structure and things. And I might sound a bit crazy for saying this. I'm not comparing Mikel Arteta to Arsene Wenger, but I think managers are crazy in a good way, but it can go the other way, right? I think if Arteta is going to stay here, whether I believe he should be here or not, I think he needs his own David Dean. David Dean used to stop Arsene Wenger from going a bit too left with it. My problem is, as much as I like Arteta, he's probably got too much of a say. Right now, he's the only footballing man on the board. The Cronkies clearly will give my man within reason whatever he can. that's a recipe for disaster. I'll be real, man. I'll be real. So yeah, I think we find David Dean.
I agree 100% with what you just said, bro. And the thing is, as well, something that I was talking to my pals about, and I was like, bro, you know what pissed me off about Edu, and the reason I'm happy he's gone? Tell me another top team where you see so much about their sporting director, bruv. The amount I used to see pictures of Edu, bruv, barbecue.
Chelsea.
Like, why?
Chelsea.
Oh, yeah. Well, but at least he spends billions. At least he spent billions there. Like, do you get what I mean? But like, you don't really see as much from these other guys, bro. Like as we were with Edu. Edu just seemed like a little.
We shouldn't even know these, man. Just get the job done.
I hear what you're kind of saying, but you kind of do, you know, because West Ham, Tim Steidten. Do you remember when David Moyes had to ban him from?
That's the next brother we've been linked with as well.
Yeah, it does happen. The sporting directors cheeky at Man City. You see, he's a prevalent figure. It happened. It does happen. I do hear you, but where your frustration kind of is, Giuseppe, is that he's not, you know, we're not seeing a lot of him. But as you mentioned, we're not getting the next best thing all the time. It doesn't feel like.
I just feel like we've consistently been bantered about Edu. Yeah. But I don't see many other clubs ever getting bantered for their sporting director, bruv. Like, this is what I mean. I just don't know. I thought Edu just weren't. I don't look at Edu and think he's mad serious. Like, I'll be honest. Like, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he was, but I just don't see him as that serious a guy to be your sport. I want someone that's been there one. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah,
like what Hook's saying. You want someone that been there, done it with a t-shirt with a good phone book and that.
Bro, listen. If 100%, if it's hard because of them charges, but if them charges are lifted and they don't get charged, go and get the guy that just left City, bro.
If he's on it, why not? If he's on it,
bun that, man. Like, bro, I'm not. We need to stop this. Like, we're trying to become City, bro. Like, it's actually bad that
like City copied Barcelona and they ran away with it.
Go and find our own way, man. Do you know? Yeah, for me, these are the two people that I would go with, innit? If I could choose, yeah, I would take either Michael Zorc, yeah, the guy that was like, he's the guy that was like known for building up
the Dortmund brother,
yeah, or Monchi.
He's doing his thing at Villa, you know, doing his thing.
Yeah, man, those are the two people that I would go for. Or me. This is just me personally. I would say, yo, Wenger, what are you saying, bro? It's time.
Nah.
It's time to come home, bro.
Nah, bro. You know what? I say no to that, Hooks. But the only reason I say no, if it was Arsene Wenger and it wasn't Arsenal, yeah, but I just think he's too emotionally attached to Arsenal and he struggled in the last few years to make the right decision for Arsenal, not necessarily Wenger, but for Arsenal, not necessarily him, but nah, man. And if you're Wenger, realistically, you're gonna look at flipping Arteta and Edu and say, you lot are my sons, you lot can't tell me nothing, man.
But think about it. Think about it like this, yeah. Wenger knows the club, yeah. Wenger's a very intelligent man, yeah, very intelligent man. Wenger can set up a nice little proper youth system.
Not gonna lie, I don't think he buys Kai Havertz. I'm not gonna cap. You know, he doesn't buy Declan Rice either. To be fair,
man knows French market like this, bro. Like, you know what I mean? The French market boom. Like, he's worked at FIFA, world market.
I don't know, man, because I didn't see Kante and Mbappe and all these years run up in Arsenal.
The thing is,
he's telling us I knew Kante since 14.
He was aware of all of them. Man. He was aware of all of them. But here's the difference now. Arsenal spend money now. What, you think Wenger, with the ability to spend money, is not doing wavy, bro? The guys
Wenger was very much against bare things in the game.
You know, as well, he was against EG. Remember agents? He hated agents.
He hated that.
Imagine a sporting director's jobs to negotiate with agents.
We weren't rocking with some of these agents that we work with, man.
Yeah, I'd stay away from Wenger. I can't lie.
Yeah, me too.
All right, last question, lads, before I let you lot get out of here. Yeah, I have to say it again because certain men have been ducking and diving the PR. If we finish anything but first in that Premier League and we assume we don't win any titles, yeah, how much confidence is lost with you lot with Mikel Arteta if he isn't gone already? Because then I think he's on borrowed time. I'll be real. I'm not on this Netflix next season thing.
Yeah. I think that for me, if we don't win anything this season, we end the season with 0 trophies. We didn't win the league and stuff. Then yeah, I'm open to having a look about. And then next season is when he don't get a full season if it ain't going well. you get what I mean? At that point, he hasn't earned this season. I've said I think he's earned the full season. If that happened and he stays next season, and we start like this, that's when I feel like you could get rid of him mid-season. That's
yeah. I wouldn't sack him mid-season at this moment in time, but boy, we need a trophy, man. We need a trophy.
Definitely need a trophy.
Imagine we sit
Otherwise,
here
we're
with
going to lose our best players, guys.
Hooks. Don't think I forget you, bro. Mister, we can win the quadruple before the season started, bro. Yeah, and you, Souls. Yeah, another one that has to hold receipts. We can beat Chelsea's defensive record to 24 goals, bro.
Nah, he said he would sack. He would not sack Arteta no matter what. I'm gonna find that video, man. I'm on Souls. This guy is the best PR executive ever found.
I will not sack Arteta at the end of the season. Now that Edu's gone, trust me, man, we're sorted. We're gonna fly. This project
Eddie, man, you must have asked Eddie for a picture and he aired you, man. You're on him.
When Mikel Arteta said, "Yeah, this project's going boom," that happened when this guy left. But
was that project taking us from back-to-back 8 to be in challenges? Is this a new project now?
For Arsenal are coming true now. If we can get this appointment in here, I'm telling you, man, you guys are gonna see what this Edu guy. He's on top. The guy wanted the downfall for Arsenal, not the best for Arsenal. I'm telling you. You guys are gonna see it.
So's on Eddie's mad, yo.
He turfed him, man. He definitely asked Eddie for a picture. He turfed him. He's too on him. He's too on him, man. You see, to be fair, Souls would be an elite wing, man.
The thing is, though, trust me, like when you're talking about, missed opportunity, Arteta is not the one to sack. I'm telling you, this guy.
But Souls in football, the manager always suffers, no matter who's made the mistakes. That's football, bro.
No, 100%. But now that Eddie's, I'm glad, man. I'm telling you, this project's going boom.
Hey, man, let people know they can find you, lot, man. As usual, appreciate you, lot, man. It's been an eventful one.
It's been good.
Don't move shy now, lads, man. There was bare shouting in that.
Yeah, don't move shy. Yeah, go and do your thing, man.
Sicilian Gooner TV. It's SGTV on Twitter. Same for TikTok. Follow me on all that. Yeah.
Big up.
So everyone else going to be scared, apart from Giuseppe. Shout out Giuseppe. Make sure you're following him.
Go on, then. It's Tariq Talks, guys. After the international break, I'll be bringing content from next week. So get back on there, people. And yeah, Tariq Talks on YouTube. Tariq Talks on Twitter as well.
And then there were 2.
I'm not the celebrity here, lads. I'm just a side
piece.
We see you on Football Terrace, man. We see you. Come on.
Oh no, yeah, you'll see me here, there, everywhere. Obviously, make sure you subscribe to the panel. These are the celebrities here. I'm just here to, wind things up. And they need an Arteta representative. They need Havertz's lawyer. So if you need to see me in the lawyer chambers,
to be fair, he's been Havertz's lawyer. That's one thing I give him. He's been Havertz FC to the death from day one. I give Souls that. I'm
still Havertz FC to the death. He's just going through a rough patch. I've spoken to my client. I've docked his pay. I've punished him a little bit, and I said,
I don't even blame Havertz. We're not even creating for the Donny. I can't lie.
So yeah, I've spoken to him in it. So that's where you can find me. And if he does score, you'll see me because obviously I'll be making sure you guys know. But yeah, make sure you subscribe to the Laguna. Obviously, a good show, good panel.
Come on.
And obviously, like I made myself be like down here in it just to represent like how far away I am from all the famous man like DG and.
I knew he was going to come with foolishness now, I knew this guy was going to start foolishness.
I'm trying to get to their level.
Calafiori over here in the middle.
Yeah, exactly. I can't compete. I'm trying to get to their level, so I'd appreciate people if you could help me get up there.
Shut up, man. You're always on League on the stream, man. You're part of the big league, man.
Yeah, I'm known as the young league, the young Calafiori, bro.
Yeah, you get me. I'm just known as as DG likes to say, R&B brother on the screen, bro. So you get me. Come subscribe to me. Yeah, you get me. Trying to grow. Yeah, pause all of them thing there. Halftime hooks on YouTube. Come join the village hidden in the north. You get me. Shinobi gang, and we keep it moving, bro. Get me?
This guy, blood. And this is on a serious note, people. We agree, we disagree, but this is why I have these lot on my platform, because whether we agree or disagree, they're all quite thoughtful. Football's an emotional game. Of course, we've got a degree of emotion, but they all articulate themselves. They've told you where to subscribe to them. Check out the bio and you can follow the man them. Man them, big up you lot, because you know you lot have been here when we've won. Last couple of times I've done this, I've had you lot here when we haven't got results. And obviously, David, big up yourself on the super chat, man. So yeah, one love, everyone. Follow the man them. We're out. Peace. Always